What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with more content. And today we're covering more of the MetaQuest 3 and installing ROK Blow silicone protection. Hopefully I said that right, as well as the Orzero RGB battery charging head strap. Now, small side note, if you're watching the content, you'll see that I have the MetaQuest 3 sitting on top of this really cool RGB charging stand. This is by Asterion. It's their Asterion Aura version 2.0 stand, and it holds the MetaQuest 3 as well as the controllers with this clear acrylic portion that's illuminated by RGB. You have solid color options as well as animations. Now, returning back to the silicone protection and the battery charging head strap, both of these will be in black, and this is going to allow us to black out the MetaQuest 3, similar to what we see with the MetaQuest Pro. This is a completely blacked out kit, and I like it just because it looks a bit more stealthy. And that's what I wish we had with the MetaQuest 3. But if you're looking to black out your kit, this is going to be a means for doing so. So, all things said, let's go ahead and get into it. So first we're going to start with the Rokeblau kit. Now I'm going to open this up here. And we're going to have quite a few contents here. So we're going to have the controller grip covers. We're going to have a silicone portion to cover the foam on the facial interface. And then we're going to have this front portion to cover the front of the MetaQuest 3. It looks like there's going to be this portion here for the nose there as well. And then we're going to have some thumbstick grips. That's going to be a plus here too. So I'm going to start by installing that front portion there for the front of the headset. Now, I can already tell that we're going to have to disconnect the strap, which isn't bad because we're going to be installing the Orzero RGB battery charging head strap. And to uninstall the factory head strap, simply pull out on it here. On both sides, it's going to unclip, and then to remove the top strap, I'm going to actually set down here. We're going to unvelcro, and we should be able to pull it through without having to remove the facial interface there. Now, of course, when we go to install the Orzero RGB battery charging head strap, we are most likely going to have to remove the facial interface. Not a huge problem, but we'll look at that later in the video. So here we have that front portion that's going to cover the front portion of the headset and how to put this on. So I'm going to start with this side first, and this is all experimentation. So I might get this wrong, or I might get it right on the first try. The good thing is how this is designed, it should stay on here really well. So I've got that stretched over that side, and I believe, hopefully I don't rip this, it's going to stretch over the left side there as well. And then we can just guide this into place ideally. Hopefully we get a good fit. That's what I'm most worried about here. And the fit is gonna be okay here. I mean, the main thing is that we're not going to have any of our cameras covered up. Button cutouts are going to be pretty good here, and sensor cutouts are okay. But what I like most about this front cover is going to be this hexagonal design here. Looks really cool, looks really futuristic. So next I'm going to add the silicone portion to that foam cover that sits on the facial interface. This should be easy, should be pretty straightforward. Normally, just slides right over here, and we don't have to remove the foam, it doesn't look like. It all just gets pressed into place here. It just slides right over that foam very nicely, and that is that portion installed. So again, very easy to wipe off and clean or rinse off. You can already see this is starting to make the MetaQuest 3 blacked out. And it's starting to look a bit more stealthy. Now we're going to have this other portion here. This is basically the nose pad here. So taking a closer look, it looks like we might have to remove this facial interface. And this is done by just kind of wiggling this back and forth and unclipping. And also, I think it's great to remove that facial interface because, again, I think we need to do so in order to install the Orzero RGB battery charging head strap later in the video. So we're going to install the next portion of the kit, which would be this nose guard. And it's going to go on just like this. And this portion here is going to be facing down. And hopefully I'm going to get a good angle here. This, in my opinion, so far is the hardest part to install because you have to not lose grip of this as you're pulling it up and over. But this is going to be nice here because when you're wearing the headset, it should help block out more light there. And there we go. It's actually sitting there really nice. The question is, will it stay in place because it's only attached on that thin piece? I'm feeling pretty good, especially once we connect this back to the front portion of the headset. But we're going to set that to the side there. I'm already getting very, very excited here because now I will actually start using the MetaQuest 3. I haven't really been using it because I like to use it for fitness, and I didn't really want to sweat in that factory head strap, and it's just not that comfortable. So yes, next we're going to have the controller grips. Installation should be very simple here. So you can tell that I clearly haven't been using the MetaQuest 3 because I still have the straps with their factory tape on them, which we have to remove so we can feed the strap through the grips. I will say though that these grips will probably do the job very well, even if they're just a temporary solution, until you find a solution that does have the battery access door there. But we're going to feed the straps right through here, and then we're going to push the controller in. Fit so far is looking very promising here. And that's looking really good. Fit's looking really good here. And that's going to add improved grip while also adding protection. Looking really nice. Then we're going to do the same with the left. Again, we're going to feed the strap through first. Sometimes that can be a little hard to find. You're kind of just using your finger. But we've got the controller grip on the left one there too. This is looking really good. No interference with the buttons there or the thumbsticks. And then we're going to have the thumbstick grips. That's going to be nice. So this is going to improve your performance also. Now before I could put these on, I kind of forgot that I actually had some grips installed. So we're going to remove those. And then I can slide these right over. I kind of just push and turn at the same time. And it slowly should work its way on. It's going to take a little bit of time here, just like all the processes here in the video. But those are actually really nice so far. I'm going to get the other one on here. There really is no texture here, so if you're looking for textured thumb grips, you're probably going to still want to look elsewhere. But again, all of this is a great temporary solution until you get your kit exactly where you want it. The main idea here is just to protect things and improve the performance, even if this is just a temporary solution. But those thumb grips, they are pretty good. They're likable. I like them. And now we can move on to the Orzero RGB battery charging head strap. So here we are. This thing is looking pretty cool here. Now they're showing the white version, so if you want to keep your MetaQuest 3 white, you could do so. But again, the mission for this video is to black out the MetaQuest 3. So here we are. We're going to have our contents here. We're going to have a back pad. We're going to have our product information. And then we're going to have the rear portion of the head strap. But I'm going to set this right here. And you're going to see that we're going to have the USB-C port there. I'm going to actually flip over because the USB-C port is on the underside. So this is the right side up. We're going to have our adjustment wheel in the back. That's going to feel pretty good. We're going to have the USB-C cable come out on the left side. That's going to make sense because we want that on the left side because the charge port for the MetaQuest 3 is on the left side. And we're going to have RGB featured in the adjustment wheel as well as on the sides here, which we'll play with later in the video. But as for battery, I believe this unit has a 8,000 milliamp hour battery. When it comes to battery performance, I won't be covering it in this video because, of course, I haven't used this yet, so I can't really say. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make sure we attach that back pad. Now, make sure that the top strap is going to be the correct side up. And then we're going to take the back pad and simply press it into place. Make sure we get a nice click on both sides. This side didn't click yet. There we go, nice click there. And then we're going to feed the top strap through. This is the convenient time to do it because, again, we had to remove that facial interface. And this is going to make things a lot easier. That's going to feed right through. Nice, easy feed through. And right now, you don't have to worry about getting the head strap adjustment perfect. You just want to feed it through. So just, kind of Velcro it wherever you like. And then we're going to take the side straps. We're going to hopefully attach everything pretty easy here. And just press in place. Let's see how our alignment's going to work here. It wants to go. So that's attached. Make sure it clips in all areas. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Everything is lining up pretty good here. Make sure, again, everything's pressed in place. Fitment is really good here. This is always the concern with these third-party devices. Then we can plug in the USB-C cable there. And let's see, so we do have some adjustment here. Does this move? Yep, so this moves. I was a little worried there because it felt really tight there initially, but this is already getting blacked out. Now, we can't get too excited because I still have to put the facial interface back on. Make sure I'm in the correct orientation. Line up here, and we're going to kind of fight that front silicone cover there a little bit. We're looking good. And the thing with all of this is make sure you get a good clip in action here. That's looking pretty good. So far, this is what we have. We have the MetaQuest 3. It is essentially blacked out now. I'm really liking this. I'm not a big fan of the white. The black is looking so much better here. More tactical. Really cool. I'm liking it. So turning around, again, this head strap is going to have RGB, which we can turn on by pressing the button here. It is a small button, but it gets the job done. And that RGB is actually a lot brighter than I expected. And if we press and hold that button for 2 seconds, that's going to show our battery indicator. So the full circle is going to show that the headset is fully charged. Again, just going to press that there for 2 seconds again to demonstrate that. And as battery level drops down, the green will disappear. So that's actually pretty cool. It's a nice large readout. Now there is a small con here. Looking at the included product information, it's a bit misleading. So it's going to show that we have gradual mode, breathing mode, flashing mode, and 7 static light mode for that RGB. But I went back to Amazon and I looked in the product description, and it states that this RGB is non-adjustable. So there is a conflict between the manual here, the product information, and what's listed on Amazon. But from what I could tell, it looks like the RGB is not adjustable. So that may or may not be a deal breaker for you. I am going to continue to look for other options that may have the adjustable RGB. And I'm going to just continue to double check, make sure I'm not missing anything here. But anyways, let's go ahead and do a fit here because that's part of all of this. So I'm going to take the head strap here and lengthen it. And I'm going to place it on top of my head. Fit's going to be good. Light blackout is going to be really good here too because of that nose pad there. This looks like, it probably looks like it's going to fit good. This feels good for me. I might have to do a little adjustment. There is a little, let's see if I pull on this again. So if I pull out here, it does change the length of that head strap. You have to adjust it again. That's a little weird if you pull a little too hard on it. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I would have to know after more testing. But so far, fit feels pretty good here. Again, might have to do some adjustments here. But overall, I would say this is pretty good for blacking out this kit here. I'm going to turn off that RGB. I may not have it on. Even if you don't have it on, the back of the head strap still looks pretty cool. That's pretty pleasing. So that is it for today's content. Of course, I do have to test this out some more and see how it performs because I haven't really done so yet. But I'm looking to get back into fitness. I'm also liking how this whole kit looks now that it's completely blacked out. Hopefully it performs well. But that, again, is it. So, as always, thanks for watching and may the universe flow in your favor. And until next time, Leon, check in out.